Good morning. As usual, we're going to start slow for the first 15 minutes. So if you're watching this later on, go ahead and just jump forward. We're going to wait till a few people get on board. Okay. I'm going to get some eggs going. We have the sun rising. Just got back from the gym. I'd like to make some announcements before I get started, talk about some future content ideas. So Mark Massio earlier in the year did a great video discussing giant worship, and I'm going to go ahead and be resharing that at some point so that people hear things from his perspective. And I'm pretty sure that, our height is probably pretty close. Sounds like he's done some martial arts also. He talks about the dark side of MMA, or the dark side of the martial arts. Not to pinpoint MMA. MMA has value, and I want to maybe find a spiritual MMA channel or something. I would like to engage with some spiritual martial artists. I've been at the gym, for those that don't know, that are now tuning in from other channels, pretty regularly for about 9 months or 10 months. And there's a real lack of spirituality at the gym. So I want to be talking about that on a regular basis, because I feel like not exactly invigorated from the gym like I normally would expect from a gym. There's a darker energy going on, and it is of course winter. So let me slow down here, let people stack themselves in. So China has, and we'll save this for later, China has hacked basically a massive amount of cell phone data. All right. And so this is going to be problematic later on during a possible occupation. So one of the uploads coming later is the original. Well, 3 interviews put together with Leon Nagant with his psychic vision or nightmare that he started having as a young child of America being invaded by foreign armies. And people considered it a joke and told me to my face they considered it and me and my content to be a joke. And this world is a very insulting simulation where you can't look at the hot bodies and go, oh, wow, that would be a good mama. That would be someone that would care about all the world's people. So I'm going to be easing into just the heartbreak of seeing the most beautiful woman in the gym walk in with a shirt associated with murder, death, and destruction. I left a book on the machine, on the exercise machine, and it's called Love Bite. It's by Eve Lorgan, and it is about the manipulation of sexuality by demonic, archonic realities. And so basically I'll save the story for later. What I will share is that I left it at the gym. Okay. So the good thing about the gym is these are not hardcore thieves. Okay. But the energy is low because people are expelling a low energy. So we'll start easing into things. It's important to eat. It's important to work out. But what does it mean to work out and continue to get healthy? Do I think that it's always hitting the heavy bag or heavy weights? No. But I don't have a lot of experience with yoga or cardio. It's really not my bag. Not my MO. I'm not really in that crowd. And I think it's a bit feminine to only do those things. And a lot of people do that. They do the hamster wheel thing. And a lot of people at the gym, one of the things that I see here, and I'm sure it's this way everywhere now because of the cell phone society, is people with couples, that's basically their trophy. And so short Latina, short East Indian, big white dude with red hair. Do not be defensive if you're a white guy. And if you are, and you're single chronically, if you email me, tell me more your story, it would be good for me so that I maintain an inclusive demeanor when talking about the struggle of men. But if you don't tell me, and there's like an ego thing, it's like a boys don't cry type deal, then I really don't know the depths of your suffering. You know what I mean? And I'd rather hear it from someone on email than listen to some guy on YouTube with an agenda. So if I listen to Ellen Rillionaire, I have the agenda of the tall black guy who wants to see the whole world impregnated by tall black guys. And that doesn't work for me. That's not racism. That's just not my demographic. And so while Ellen Rillionaire has great info on women, the real nature of women, and then he showcases women exposing women, that's not my bag. They're more into this giant worship, and that is not spiritual. Okay, so we have 3 people here. That's good enough to get started. All right. So Christmas is one of the most painful times of the year because it's about, and let's start talking about it, because you can put up the shield. It's about buying stuff for some people. If you have a family, fine, congratulations. I'm not here. I'm not going to berate you. Okay, I'm going to speak for myself as a single man. Any single men in the audience? Any single women in the audience? Okay, now it's a tease to hear about, like, let's go have Thanksgiving dinner at such and such's house, or Christmas dinner. It's not even, I want to use clean language in case young people are watching. I want parents to start feeling comfortable, if you're not already, having your kids listen to me. Okay, but basically, it is about buying stuff and then kids expecting stuff. And basically, this is what I want to say at the beginning. I think it's blasphemy against Christ to act like people are Christian and to hate Christ and to hate the teachings of Christ and hate spirituality, and for nasty ass people to sell about Christmas by gifts. Imagine somebody on the phone who you don't have a good communication with going, "So what do you want for Christmas?" in a really annoying baby voice, right? "So what do you want for Christmas?" Right? It's like, I want you to fix the past. I want you to address the past for Christmas. I want you to write a long letter exposing secrets you've never exposed before about the real men that hurt you, is what I want for Christmas. So Christmas for me is not a time, but I'll try to keep myself out of it. But how can I? It's not a time that I look forward to. It's the worst time of the year, next to the 4th of July. The 4th of July is a time in which there's a massive celebration of Chinese fireworks. And there is no real community. And with the libido, right, higher than the rest of the year because of, summer and booty shorts and such, it's also painful on the body to be single. And if you're working a slave job, or if you're suffering in the heat and you have no vacation, like I have been camping in many, 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 many years, and nobody's offered to take me camping or bring me camping. And plus, if people want to establish friendships, just to throw it out there, you need to talk to somebody for a few months or a few years to make sure that you're not going to turn on them when you meet them. A lot of people in this audience are not capable because they're products of this environment and world of friendship. They're in this fast food, your way, right away. And they don't really tolerate a dude speaking his mind. And people are real too quick to judge someone and accuse someone of witchcraft for not being Orthodox Christians. So those of you that are Orthodox Christians and Muslims, hey, thank you for watching. But as far as friendships and whatnot, there really is too much judgment. And so when it comes to, now there's a video out there, I want to talk about it real briefly. It's about Krampus in San Diego. No, San Antonio. Anybody know about this Krampus thing? There's a video there from an Hispanic guy from the media. And he's basically saying that I don't know who he is or if he's legitimate. But he's basically saying that the Latino community is being manipulated or infected by a demon. You can even say archon through this quote-unquote Krampus worship. Have you heard of such a thing? One thing I got to add to my list is Himalayan sea salt at some point. Okay. So one of the things that needs to happen soon, I'm going to start uploading these videos about what's coming with World War III. And why now? Does it have to do with Trump being elected? Does it have to do with anything in specific? No. Other than the fact that it's late 2024, and I have pinpointed this period in time in which scientists and others, and it's in the period of the cycle in which we are expecting to see the largest increase in solar activity than we have in 2023. Moving into 2024, moving into 2025, they've already hit the mark in around July of 2025. Okay, now I'm going to be re-uploading the 2018 video that I did while living in Pagosa Springs regarding Dion Fortune. Soon, there's going to be a number of uploads posted soon after this goes live. Okay, We're live now. I will eat off camera. Okay. So it's important that if you are thinking about meditation as a solution to becoming angry, if you are thinking about meditation and prayer as a solution to having mental health problems and turning towards violence and drugs, these videos are for you. Okay, and over at alexhansory.substack.com, there's a couple people that canceled their membership. I haven't posted in the last month because, folks, nobody engages with the content. So if you want members' content over at the Substack, it helps if you like and comment in the same way that you do on YouTube. It's part of engagement. Sometimes when the audience doesn't engage, right, there, on my part as the content creator, there's no way to gauge if you're receiving the content in your email. So again, sign up to the email at alexhansory.substack.com. Okay, that way you get the content. And every month or so, I'm a little late now, I send out, okay, like 30 videos in one message, but hardly anybody likes or engages with it. So it's difficult to know whether it's helping. But again, I would sign up and use that email system just in case this channel goes away and you want to continue to watch my content. Okay, so we're 11 minutes in. Christmas is a time also in which it's cold, it's rainy, and there's this conditioning process for people to be out and about, where I think that you need to do the opposite. When it's winter, you really should think about staying home. The whole thing with families being separated by thousands of miles, that's their problem. As someone who's been abandoned, and I'm going to try not to make specific references because what's the point, right? I'll just write a book. As someone that's faced abandonment, every time the holidays comes around, like Thanksgiving, it is basically a time period in which families are celebrated. Also, the other day, there was a International Man's Day or something. There's nobody in my audience, this channel, the other channel, or in this society that said, thank you for being a good man. Thank you for fighting human trafficking. Now, going further into this, we're bouncing around topics. You can't really fight, and you're not really fighting human trafficking, really, if you're just telling people about it and asking people to not be in support of it. Okay, you're making people aware of human trafficking, and you're asking them to, at least in their mind, be against human trafficking and to be in support of someone who believes in human rights. Okay, I'm not really into the official organization, but I believe in being a watchdog for human rights. I just came from the gym. And so when I wear gym shirts like this and Demon Hunter and Do Right Even Amongst Madness, and one that links to my YouTube, other shirts that say things, I don't have that many, but I want to get more that also say about 9/11. It's about telling people the path that you have been on is wrong and danger's coming. There is going to be, with the cell phone harvesting data of the American people via China, in the future, possibly mass kidnappings, maybe even assassinations of military families. Who knows if they're going to take it that far? I don't see a good guy in this at all, but more like Murder Incorporated. It's like for a long time, murder has been celebrated in this culture and society. And it's not that good guys are coming to stop the murderers. It's that when you murder, it attracts murder towards you. So murder societies, murder militaries, murder economies, murderous types of people, governments and whatnot, they attract what? You got it. Things relating to murder, human trafficking, and slavery. Okay? The mind control people are under is just blaming it on the right, just blame it on the left. A smart person sees both the left and right, okay, as a part of this. And this also might actually be a good time to go over the past statements that I've made about Trump's role in the New World Order. Okay, and how his, and I talked about it long before January 6th, not to toot my own horn, not that I'm really getting any credit, but long before January 6th, I was warning about radical extremists traveling from one region to another and creating disruption, basically being under remote control. Whether we're talking about what some call the usual suspects or black thugs, not to be confused with regular black people or spiritual black people. Got it? And then, of course, we have other extremists. And so we are literally living in the day and age of extremists using technology. Hello, two viewers. So now we're settling down here, 15 minutes in, and it might become a more regular thing for me to start playing some music, okay, as we get warmed up here. But Christmas is a time in which it's screaming to you to buy things. The music has a subliminal tone. And then, of course, there's things that are in the songs. And that would be a far deeper, more on the level of, not to promote the guy, Clyde Lewis or Coast to Coast, to talk about the occultic side of it. But that video really caught my attention about Krampus. And then I looked at the comments going, see, these people are Christians that take it too far. People talk about demons and whatnot. You literally have crazy Christians now that are anti any talk about demons, just like you have Muslims that don't want to talk about the jinn and will become afraid of me. Like Muslim women are afraid of me if I tell them I know a lot about the archons or jinn. They have a programming, you get away from that. You don't talk to that person. That's bad. And so for those of you that are Orthodox, Muslims, and Christians, many of you, in my opinion, are locked into a doctrine that does not allow you to understand a vast, much more vast spiritual understanding. Same thing with New Agers that do the alien worship. A lot of damage has been done to families all across America for venerating the grays, supposedly the ascended masters, things of that nature. Okay. Not that there aren't some ascended masters that may be out there, okay, or good spirits, right? But there's too much of a veneration catapulted by people on social media and the mainstream media, the History Channel, that whole show, Ancient Aliens, that was on around the time of 2012, very influential into creating a narrative for many people that they are our creators, makers, or gods. And that may be a mind control op. But we have been manipulated, and more on that later. We have been manipulated on a genetic level. We are made in the image of something, but is it actually God? What is really going on here? Okay. And so things are busier during the holidays. People are traveling, and people aren't traveling smoothly. People are in the cold. Now, does it make sense to travel, to visit, especially if you don't have any positive relations with someone and you've been abused by someone, just to visit them? I would suggest working out things on the phone and doing something called a video, Skype, or Zoom. You should be suspicious of any reunions with relatives if they can't do a video, Skype, or Zoom session with you to heal the past. If there's like a son or a daughter or a mom or a dad who's trying to come back into your life and go, gimme, 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 I want candy, because now I'm old and the world doesn't want me anymore. I'm no longer a princess. I'm no longer a king. I'm old now, and I'm looking back at the people that I've hurt, and I'm going, you're not rich yet? You're not rich yet? So be careful with these fucks. Make them look you in the eyes and tell them, oh, so you want to celebrate Christmas? Tell me about Jesus then. This celebrating of Jesus, this fake celebration of Christmas and leaving Jesus out of it is now actually upsetting me. Okay. So let's talk about the military-industrial complex. We have our first comment. We're 18 minutes in. And what I'm going to do is just basically try to end this video, maybe sooner than later, come back with another. I need some prayer and meditation. So let's talk about the gym. We'll talk about Christmas more as part of therapy for the good men that are in the audience, and the potential that there may be some authentic good women in the audience. There's no way I can verify that, though. It's a theory. But saying you're a good woman just because you're an audience member, that part's been debunked. That doesn't exist at all. That's fairy tale land. That's Disney. No one's a good person just for watching me. The enemy watches me. The government may. Aliens certain do. We know demons. We know there's a ghost in the box. And so people that are on the screen too much, that don't establish friendships, that aren't giving back, they're not necessarily friends, but they do have the ability to learn something. So I have the ability to help you. You have the ability as a human being to evolve. So let's talk about it. I am sexually attracted to the petite, young-ish, above 18, of course, Latina, who is about 5'1". As you know, I'm 5'6", so you would think that that's like totally normal. But when she comes in with a berserker shirt and American flag, I'm sad. What is this shirt? A berserker with the American flag. Going to Google now. Berserker. I know it's a Viking reference, but American flag. Now, some of you might be going, but I doubt you. But other people would be like, Okay, American flag for Viking berserker, dad of Odin. Okay, I actually believe this is demonic mind control as part of a genocide of my people. You may not believe that. It may be a bit much. Tomoko may believe it. But what I'm telling you is these people killed millions of people, and they may not know my heritage, but these eyes are unique eyes. It's a unique nose. And I believe that veterans, some of them, have the intelligence, even though they're not high IQ, to have their own facial recognition, go, oh, wow, he looked like one of the Mutt people. Oh, fuck. What are you doing here? How'd they let you in? It's like that. Whereas regular Americans might be like, huh, what are you? And I'll talk about it later, but I'm going to make a shirt saying demons obsess on your height and race. Angels are more concerned with the nature of your soul. We'll shorten up a little bit. I have lots of ideas. But the thing is, the military-industrial complex has spread out in the American flag into non-official American flag uses for commercial attire. So, right, commercial consumerism is gross. So they have made this commercial consumerism about the American flag on all these berserker, demon, punisher, skull. You guys got it? Are you with me? And that makes me sad. I would like to hold her hand. I want to hold your hand. I want to, take her out for some tacos. How about some Chinese food? Can we hang out? No? And so it's not anti-American to look at the modern uses of the American flag as a sigil of attack, 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 attack. America could do no wrong. America wasn't, the victim of a shadow government conspiracy called 9/11 was inside job. Oh, no, it's so legit. Americans such a victim. Oh, seriously. And that's what's so alarming to me. There's a lot of veterans that know the truth about 9/11. And there's a lot of 9/11 truthers that still don't care about those people, me, others, themselves, continuing. And didn't China, didn't Russia, didn't they give the Taliban in Afghanistan money or offer them money to kill U.S. soldiers? And now they have data on the American people. Is there any chance that they're going to do anything to veterans later? I'm not asking for them to. I'm saying, as a person who has been hurt by your government and your society, I'm trying to help you. So we're going to be doing geopolitical reports as of the next day or so. It'll be like videos with 3 or 4 reports. And so I want to hand out my card at the gym. And you would think that I would be the guy, macho type of guy, smart, helping you navigate the waters of the coming World War III and the human trafficking that will follow. Okay, this giant worship. Let's go back to talking about that East Indian girl. Okay, she's very proud of her status symbol to be with the tall white man with the reddish hair. Now, I'm telling you, when I was on Facebook a long time ago, there was a lot of news that I interpreted to be fake saying that demographic of man is going extinct, and I never believed it. I always thought that it was there to create we're going extinct. We must have this. And I don't see that in the place I've lived. If you lived in Portland and you lived in Colorado, you see that type of demographic is the majority, not the minority. And it makes you go, what was the real motive between headlines like that 10 years ago, saying that, the Scottish look, redhead type, that they're going away, that they're going extinct? That's not true. Slightly reduced birth rate numbers. Things have an ebb and flow with regards to the solar cycle. And people can take things like that and become very militant and believe that everything, and I believe that that's extreme animalism. Everyone should beware of adopting prejudices because it's being taught to us. And I guess we have to be reminded to beware of it, but I will be offended immediately in my mind for a millisecond. But with Tomoko, you might be a long-term viewer or a short-term viewer. If you're a new viewer, you're new to me. Looks like a Japanese name. That's awesome if you're Japanese, because I predominantly have a white audience that doesn't really want to talk about these things. And I don't know if you're a new viewer because you like the martial arts stuff, but I do admire. And you could be a white person who adopted a Japanese name too. That's big in our culture too. Tattoos, the whole 9 yards, the dragon thing. What I'm saying is there is a fundamentalist nature to our society in America that is prejudice. And unfortunately, if I push back against being left out, someone might misread me as prejudice for asserting myself. I would have to explain myself, and they would have to be willing to listen. So I feel like I'm treading on thin water as a mixed race person, criticizing the popularization of the half black, half white. You know what I mean? Everyone is unique. Everyone has a unique fingerprint. And so in my case, I have a unique set of things that I believe that I came to the earth to talk about, and that I have and am talking about regarding morality, the solar cycle, other things, this unseen force. And so a lot of my information is unique and should stand the test of time. But the question was, how long have you been around, to gauge how long? Because I've been exposing the KKK frequency for about 20 years. And I'm telling you, people don't support it. People, women, don't support me pushing back against prejudice, even if they claim they do. Case in point, Portland, Oregon claims to be very anti-racist, anti-prejudice, and everything I am about is exposing the boxes. So are you a new viewer? Or are you well-versed with how long I've been exposing Nazism and how I'm suffering more than other groups because I'm considered untouchable? And this is America where I'm at. This is America. And yet Americans are acting like they have the caste system, basically, like this is India. Okay. And so I have been discarded. You never answer the question, are you a new viewer or old viewer? Okay. And so the difficulty in talking to new viewers is they don't necessarily have the respect when they come to the channel for the years and years of me talking about things, and they can sound holier than thou. They can sound lecturing and whatnot. Anyways, I am a life coach. A lot of you don't get that. And a lot of you are used to Johnny Come Latelys on YouTube. So it's hard for you to respect people, basically. They have a lot of info. Okay. And I have way more info than you know. I only give you the info that I give you. Okay. I have way more info than you know about this racist, prejudiced world. And a lot of people like to lecture from their side of the screen while actually doing nothing. The racism towards Asian people will increase, but I don't know of Asian people that are my friends. You know what I mean? It's awkward. And so the way to really connect with me is via email, for those that don't know. So we're going to be showing you a lot of different clips into the future for as long as this continues. So at the gym, when I see that American flag and that berserker, let's go ahead and show you like an example of the this isn't exactly it, but when you have this attire on all the time, okay, and then we'll go ahead and go to another version of it now, okay? This stuff is really popular here at the gym. So you need to understand that every place is uniquely demonic. Everyone is uniquely demonic right now. Calling all angels. Are there any angels out there that are willing to help me with any administrative tasks, such as book editing? My email is solarstorm333@proton.me. How many women out there want to cheer me on in exposing the bad men of this world, the demonic nature of men that traffics women? You know, I'm only hearing grasshoppers. And see, with this attitude, you don't have safe passage in the future. People have become too relaxed right now. And what I am on the front lines every single day on YouTube is talking about things that other people aren't. And it causes suffer and people to place prejudice against me for going too far than they're ready to go. They place prejudice against me and I suffer. And I'm surrounded by this military industrial complex worship that is making me sick. And so when I see women, okay, that are pretty, that are Latina, I know that they are worshiping this system. Here's another one with a bear on it. And then it's like, I don't know who I can trust at the gym. None of the males that I've reached out to have ever shown any interest in, and here's another symbol here. This three, now again, the Nagels, I see this a lot on cars. Okay. So listen, as black on white violence increases, as the weaponized migration increases, there will be more white supremacy and soft white supremacy. Okay. There'll be more people turning to this, but there's no group to open up its doors to me. It really is the world against me. And so I can look Hispanic to a white person that feels invaded. I can look white to a black person that is feeling oppressed by white people. So I'm feeling cursed right now by whatever, you know, whatever we're in some sort of a biological matrix of sorts. And so this type of stuff going on, and me being in an environment is not one in which my understanding of things is going to be respected. You know what I mean? And so Berserker's return outsells every, okay, I'm looking at different images here. And then here's another one. And there was a guy, Valhalla flag. There was a guy that had all this emblem stuff that came to a place called Costia County, Colorado. He was someone that had an alcohol issue. Let's go ahead and show you this page here. Okay, so I'm just going to be brief with this. We have 5 people, but I'm going to end here in a minute and continue my breakfast and then go about my day and then come back with some uploads. So stay tuned. There's going to be more uploads. But of course, as usual, I can upload. It's nice to pull a young movie or a video clip, something tagged with George Norrie, and it's going to have more views. The stuff on its own with my own face doesn't have enough for me to make an income. I'd like to change that. And I'd like to come back to you on a regular basis, maybe when a schedule with live shows, open chat. Hell, if we had a phone call screener, we can do phone calls. You know, I'd like to grow the channel if possible. And I'm wondering your opinion on it, if it's even worth it. But basically, Christmas is a time in which we need to increase our own spiritual development because we're being attacked by the thought forms of lack. We're seeing other people. I think families like to flaunt their own happiness and wealth around others. And their partners, and they do it at the gym. So again, as I told you yesterday, I have to protect myself psychically from people that are going to look down upon me for being what I am. And you know what I am. And we talked about the 4 components yesterday with the soul in the middle. Plus, I burn Palo Santo at the gym. I bring Organite. I have a tourmaline necklace. I do a deep type of breathing that I'm not officially trained in, that I just breathe really intensely and practice a visualization of expelling the demons like a bouncer at a nightclub, like the A-Man back in 1992 walking into a blood riot going, "Everybody must leave now!" And I basically said in that thought form to demonic entities that you're not wanted here. And when I strike that bag, I do strike out at these paranormal entities that are connected to these people. I'm not training for actual combat. I'm not getting in great shape to the best of my ability with my food budget in order to go to war and make a bunch of babies. I do it for you, for the intensity needed psychologically to even talk like this. Okay. And so I'm going to be back. I'm going to actually stop this stream now and start uploading a series of videos, including the Leon Lagon interview. Okay. For people that may find it out there, and over time, there'll be more shorts. So again, if you'd like to volunteer to help me out, this is our last minute, email me. If you want to send me some words of encouragement, you want to say, "Wow, dude, we're watching you on the big screen at some bar here." If you want to pull me down from a space of feeling like I'm ignored, you can do it via email. In the past, people would do that. I will continue to talk about how human psychology has changed, especially since the total solar eclipse of April 2024. I'll tell you, a warning. I'm very concerned that these babies that are being born out of lust in this last year, that there's a dark destiny for them. We'll talk about that in the next video. Till next time, I'm Alex Hansen, reminding you the path to the ultimate truth and place of power and peace still lies within.